It's the morning culture on V103. Getting ready to talk about something really serious that is affecting our community, especially here in Atlanta. It's a worldwide problem, but in Atlanta, we are in the smack dab center of it all. We're talking about human trafficking, and the International Human Trafficking Institute. Deborah Richardson is with us. She's the executive director, and Cedric Boswell, who is a old friend and professional heavyweight boxer, is here as well to talk about something really big, an initiative that is going down with the right now, the Human Trafficking Institute, an initiative of the National Center for Civil and Human Rights, a campaign, The Truth in Trafficking. And Deborah, I want to say, you know, what we've seen on social media, because we are social media people, is we have seen so many people talking about this now, including a lot of celebrities, and there are a lot of pictures that are going around in every city in the country now about this. This is a really big deal.
It is a big deal, Frank. And frankly, I'm disappointed that it is a big deal still. I first learned about human trafficking in 1999. I was working for Fulton County Juvenile Court, and a 10-year-old little girl was brought into the courtroom. She was handcuffed and shackled. She had just spent 3 days in juvenile detention because she had been found in the backseat of a van with a 42-year-old man who had rented her for sex for 2 hours. Because pimping and pandering a child in the state of Georgia in 1999 was a misdemeanor, he was given what was equivalent to a traffic citation.
Wow.
His child had been locked up and charged for child prostitution. So it was in the year 2000 that we passed the first anti-human trafficking bill that made pandering and pimping a child in the state of Georgia a felony. But here we are 20 years later, and it's still horrible statistics in the city and the nation.
So, Ms. Deborah, can you explain what human trafficking is and the difference between that and sexual exploitation?
Sexual exploitation is generally when someone, usually an adult, will use the vulnerability of a child in exchange for sexual favors. So let's say a child is homeless. They'll say, oh, come home with me, you can stay with me. But when the child gets there, the child is raped. So that's the exploitation. Or if a child is being used in pornography. However, trafficking always involves a buyer. It's a predator who's out there intentionally looking to buy that child, and that's the trafficking.
Understood.
With your organization, what are some of the priorities and ultimate mission? How are you looking to help people?
That's a great question, because what I've learned over the 20 years, we have traditionally emphasized rescuing victims and arresting the traffickers. And I started the first house for sexually exploited girls in this community. So I understand how important rescuing victims is. But when are we going to ask, why do we keep having victims? And so therefore, we're looking at it from a business model. If we can address the market demand by ending men from buying these children, we can reduce and eventually eliminate trafficking. So we are unique that we're focused on the demand side versus the rescuing side.
You know, when we watch Hollywood movies and we see these famous Hollywood movies that are made about, you know, young people getting kidnapped in foreign countries, we think that sex trafficking is something that happens in a foreign country.
Right.
But Atlanta has now been labeled as the #1 city in America for that, especially with the access to our airport. And it just seems like it's, Deborah, like it's getting worse every year. It's not getting better.
Well, you're correct. It's not getting better. But I would tell you there are a couple of myths in that. Atlanta has the highest underground commercial sex market out of 8 major cities. It's hard to quantify if it's #1 in human trafficking, but we do know that our underground commercial sex activity is huge, and that includes 8 cities. New York, we're ahead of even New York City.
Wow.
And that is driven by a number of things. The airport, when people come in for conventions. But the study that we found is that the majority of men who are buying these children live in Atlanta and live north of 285 with incomes of $100,000 or more.
Wow.
Ooh, wow. Cedric, let's talk about your role with this.
Well, my role is I want to bring all the men and let them know what's going on with this situation, because it's a bad situation, you know, and usually, you know, a lot of men are involved with these young women. And a lot of men have a blind eye to it because we just don't know until we start to. I didn't know too much about it until I started to see and started doing my research about it. So I just want to let all the men come together and try to stop this thing as a whole. Yeah.
You know, it's very difficult to look at it when we see the pictures on TV.
Yeah.
Correct.
It wasn't too long ago when we were talking about the Super Bowl being here in Atlanta, and we had a woman from one of the facilities come on the air with us. And one of the things that she said was that, like, especially in the poorer neighborhoods of Atlanta, that these guys that are trying to get these young girls in the business are waiting outside of the schools.
Absolutely. They're waiting outside of the schools, but it's a new twist. They're getting young people in the schools to recruit their friends for them.
Wow.
And so they're waiting for them, but they also have someone in there. And the child that's in the school, if they don't recruit a certain number of people, they get severely punished. So the trafficker, because again, the huge demand by any means necessary to recruit these girls and boys. We're seeing an increase of boys that are being exploited as well.
Because I heard things like they're offering food.
To the
They're
vulnerable.
offering going shopping for clothes. They're offering all kinds of things like that to lure these lower income girls into this business.
Exactly. Trafficking has two elements. One is, you said, low income, young people who are vulnerable.
Right.
And therefore, when someone approaches them about a Gucci bag or something in exchange for, hey, just come in and kicking it with me, quote unquote, they don't realize that this is the beginning of a horrible recruitment process. But again, it's because they know that they have men who are willing and wanting to buy these girls, so they have to keep the supply going.
Real quick, if you can tell me, you and I were involved together in the opening of the Center for Civil and Human Rights.
Correct.
Tell me their role in what you guys are getting ready to do and how people can be a part of it.
Thank you. Well, the center, is a place where we talk about and educate people of advocacy. The International Human Trafficking Institute is a way that people can take action by joining this campaign, by having more men like Cedric who are willing to talk to other men about this, for having a conversation with parents. Parents think that the danger strangers down the street, the danger strangers on your computer talking to your child. So those are the things that we're doing, educating parents, addressing the demand by having men talk to other men, and we believe that with this formula that we can really begin to decrease the numbers in Atlanta.
Wow.
Okay, a number of people can get involved.
Absolutely.
What's that? Well, how could they get involved?
Well, first we want them to go on our website, which is ihtiinstitute.org, where they can sign up, they can be trained. We'll come to parent groups, civic groups. We have people like Cedric who are now having conversations with young men because, frankly, we have to go upstream. For young men to understand using a woman as a commodity is not acceptable.
Amen.
So men, we need engaged in this and have those conversations. We need people who are willing to support training so that the community can get educated. And, of course, we will always need financial support to make it the work continues.
All right, everybody. That's ihtinstitute.org for you to get involved. Thank you very much, Deborah Richardson, Cedric Boswell. Thank you for joining us on The Morning Culture.
So he's been vetted and he's really great. So you're in this hotel room and you're meeting with him. And at the start of the meeting he says, listen, before we meet, I want to tell you, I've given you everything. I've told you everything that's been true. You saved American lives. Now you're going to do something for me. You're going to go out and you're going to get me a prostitute right now or I'm never cooperating with you again. So I want to see a show of hands. How many people would get him the prostitute? Some, not many. The answer is sure. I mean, he's a scumbag, of course, but your job is to deal with scumbags, and you would be expected to go out and get him the prostitute. What if he asks for a child prostitute? Absolutely not, under any circumstances. But that's not the CIA talking, that's John Kirianik talking, because there's no rule. Your job as a CIA case officer is to break the laws of the country that you're serving in. That's your job. Your job is to commit espionage, which in most countries is a death penalty crime. Your job is to convince people to commit treason for you. because they like you so much, or they like the money that you're giving them so much. So, because it's the nature of your job to break the law, there are no rules that are written for you to carry out that job. Now, the problem there is that most CIA case officers would procure the child prostitute. And even if they felt funny about it, they would be told by headquarters, you have a job to do. This is a bona fide source here. Go do your job. That's the problem, or the nature of the problem, of ethics and intelligence operations. There are no ethics in intelligence operations. I've come to the conclusion, after all these years, that there probably doesn't need to be a CIA. I think Daniel Patrick Moynihan was right in 1976 when he said that the CIA should be broken up. John Kennedy was right in 1963 when he said the CIA should be broken up.
The 2008 movie Taken depicted human traffickers breaking into a house and dragging away teenage girls to sell them on an overseas black market.
But experts know these criminals often use more subtle and strategic methods. That's why the Blue campaign by the Department of Homeland Security is supporting 2 new California laws that require awareness training for transit, hotel, and motel workers. These are industries in which employees are most likely to encounter trafficking victims. There are things that everybody should know about how these criminals operate. Mary David is a former prosecutor and UN advisor. She joins us this morning with the 5 common traps used by human traffickers. Good morning to you.
Welcome.
Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So the first trap, something so simple, and maybe you wouldn't even think to begin here. What should we know about human traffickers' approach to women and girls by telling them that they're beautiful?
Traffickers often tell women and girls that they're beautiful, and what they do is they will actually scope out places where women and girls will often hang out. They will go to malls, school playgrounds, and the movie theater, and they'll approach these potential victims and tell them, you're beautiful, and see how they respond. If the woman or girl responds with a lot of confidence and seems unfazed, they move on. But if she seems uncomfortable with the compliment, if she looks down and can't make eye contact, or if she says, no, I'm not beautiful, then they know that this is someone who they then can manipulate and use as a potential victim.
Another trap you talk about is false offers of job opportunities.
Yes. Traffickers are increasingly using social media to target women and girls with job opportunities by sending them messages on their photos or sending them direct messages saying, we can find you an opportunity in television, film, and dance. And they will often even get these women and girls into a small music video or get them a job at a nightclub. And while it may start out as seemingly professional and seemingly just dance, it often escalates into commercial sexual exploitation.
This next trap is especially sinister. Human traffickers stepping in as a parental figure. Is that to establish trust and then they go from there?
Yes, that's exactly what happens. Traffickers will actually spend months scoping out a potential victim, and they will determine what their social habits are, who their support networks are, whether they have close relationships with their family members. If they don't, this is someone that they will then, it's called grooming, and they will buy them things like sneakers. They will take them to get their hair and their makeup done, to get their nails done, and create this bond and fill in a gap that often a family member, like a mother or a father, would often fill. And this is a void that children are so often hungry for. And so to be recognized in that way, it makes it so much easier for them to then establish loyalty and trust to this trafficker, who then completely uses it to manipulate them.
With so many people using online methods to sort of find companionships, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, you say that some of these traffickers pose as a potential boyfriend.
Absolutely. Increasingly, social media apps like WhatsApp, Snapchat, and Instagram are being used by traffickers to send out messages to women and girls that seem harmless at first. They will just tell them that they're beautiful. They will just strike up conversations with them, and over time, it's easy for someone to feel like they know this person, even though they really don't know them at all. They're just hiding behind a screen, and it's a stranger. But by establishing this contact through social media, which then can ramp up to phone calls, and then finally an in-person meeting, they already feel like they have this connection and they have a relationship with this person. And then what happens is they then say, you know, once they actually get close and do start dating, you know, I'm really short on money. Just one time, will you do this for me one time? I'm only asking you because I feel so bad to do this, but I trust you, and I know that you love me.
Yeah.
And it's never just one time.
Right. Once again, Mary David, a former prosecutor and anti-sexual exploitation advocate, travels around the country speaking to groups and raising awareness about human trafficking. Mary, thank you for coming in this morning.
Thanks.
We have a warning tonight from a woman who was left pretty rattled by her rideshare experience. She says that her ride was not going where it was supposed to, and she believes that she was in danger.
Now she is sharing her experience tonight with Fox 26's Natalie He, who's live here in studio. Natalie.
Hi, Jonathan and Caitlin. That's right. The woman first shared her story in a Facebook video, which has since gone viral. She says it all started when she dropped her daughter off at school in Southwest Houston around 8:30 yesterday morning. She says her car stopped working, so she left it there and caught a lift to work. But along the way, she says the driver was not going the way he was supposed to. So tonight, Houston police tell me they're investigating whether or not that driver attempted to kidnap her.
I was afraid. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do.
Midway through a Lyft ride from her daughter's school to work, Jeanette Mitchell said she realized her driver had not been following the intended route. She says her driver veered off the main road and was driving down the 8600 block of Lappin Street, then suddenly stopped behind a truck parked in front of an abandoned warehouse. The driver was ignoring her questions.
I immediately started to think that they were trying to do something to me, because he wasn't answering me.
Jeanette says another man then stepped out of the truck to unlock the gate.
He went to the gate, put the key in, and unloosed the chain, and then he signaled to the other guy to drive in. And I was like, wait, what are you doing? So at that time, I got out the car and I started to run.
Jeanette says she believed she was in danger and followed her gut instinct to flee before it was too late. She says she ran down to a gas station on Richmond and Dunvale Street and called police.
Whatever they may have been trying to do that day, it had nothing to do with bringing me to work. If you had something to do in between my ride to work, you shouldn't have involved me, because it certainly made me feel like unsafe.
A spokesperson for Lyft tells us that driver's account has now been deactivated as they investigate what happened. The company says every driver has to pass a criminal background check before they can drive on the platform. In a statement, they also said, quote, "This allegation is deeply disturbing and not tolerated. We have been in touch with the passenger and stand by ready to assist law enforcement with any investigation." Live in the studio tonight, Natalie He, Fox 26 News.
What's going on? This is the Signal 27 show. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. Y'all know how we like to do. Today I'm going hatless because I want to have all my headphones and stuff working right so I can hear everything and everybody on both ears. Because typically I only got one ear out and then the other one is open. Yeah. But listen, y'all saw what the topic is today. We're going to be getting into a tough topic, which is called human trafficking. I noticed after having a conversation with my wife's aunt. Yeah, with my wife's aunt. She expressed something to me that I had already taken notice of. Like, I go on my Facebook page, and I'm not sure if you all noticed it. Every 4 to 5 posts, you find out somebody is missing. You know what I'm saying? It's either a kid gone, somebody has got snatched up, somebody needs help finding somebody. And I was like, yo, if I'm noticing this and she's noticing this, a lot of other people have to be noticing this. Yeah. So I thought it to be wise to do a show and bring some awareness. Y'all saw the videos in the beginning of the show. Y'all see what's happening to the people out there. I call them the missing. People just popping up missing. You know what I mean? And this was going on, from my understanding, overseas some time ago. Like Arabs and stuff, they'll tell you don't park next to a van, or don't watch what you going. Don't breathe in what do you call it? Like perfume stuff from strangers trying to sell you perfume, because the perfume scent could have some stuff in it that'll knock you out, and then they drag you off. You know what I'm saying? And now they got these new tactics where they using Uber drivers now. You know what I'm saying? Lyft drivers, and they snatching them. It was another woman that was in Atlanta who said, after the club at 2 a.m, she was getting ready to get into her Uber. Her friend said that you don't have to get into the Uber. I'll just take you home. And she was like, nah, I'll just stay on the phone with you until I get there. And when she looked at the Uber driver was looking at her all smiling and everything like that over the shoulder. So she gets in the car and realized he didn't have his phone on. She had to jump out a moving vehicle, the Uber. She had to jump out of a moving vehicle so that way she doesn't get snatched up or anything like that. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm out here just telling you ladies, listen, be aware of your surroundings. Y'all got babies, watch your babies. Like, what was it, Keita? Y'all was just like at the mall, wasn't it?
We were just out Black Friday shopping, and I've always been observant, period, even before I've gotten into law enforcement. And so I noticed this guy following everywhere we went. He's just behind me, my sister, and my niece and my daughter, behind us the whole time. So my sister finally goes off to the restroom, and she had a weapon on her because we always carry our weapons everywhere we go. But I noticed he followed her over to the restroom area in the electronics section in Walmart. Taller black guy, just suspicious to me, man. And most people are suspicious to me, but he was just acting weird. And so finally I moseyed on over there slowly behind him, just watching him, unzip my bag and everything, because if it got to go down, it got to go down. But he went over there and he stood near the bathroom. There was employees in the restroom section over where the layaway area is in Walmart. There was 2 ladies, but they were talking, chit-chatting, and even I had to ask them 2 questions to get their attention before they were not distracted. And I mean, normal people don't pay attention to stuff and people, like, I get that. But I'm like, hello, I had to ask them twice, wave my hands just to get their attention, and I'm standing right in front of them. And so finally I went over there and went to the restroom and told my sister, describe this guy, and told her to be mindful of when she came out the restroom. I stood out there also, but it's just the fact that he's just so weird. He's just freaking standing there, never took his hands out of his pockets the entire time he was walking around the store, the entire time he was following behind us. And he was definitely following behind us. And finally I stood there and I just looked him in his face and like, I dare you, get your ass out of here. But he was just so weird, man. Yeah. And he was definitely following us in that store.
Yo, that's crazy, right? So I mean, like, you can't even go to the store and be able to go shopping on Black Friday and have some people come walking up behind y'all and gawking and trying to do something, making an attempt. Or what, like the woman said, they follow behind you for some months. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and I was telling my daughter, I was like, listen, she was like, it was her job. And I was like, I don't want you to take out the trash. You know what I mean? At least not by yourself. You know what I mean? And she was like, yeah, but we usually go 2 at a time. And I was like, yeah, but listen, at the end of the day, goddaggit, just run. You forget the trash, drop that and run. You know what I'm saying? Because they out here doing devilish stuff, man. It's like, it's crazy that you can't even be kids outside and play. Y'all saw the video of the Asians that was out there, right? And they was out there snatching the Chinese people up.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The first video, one of the kids was just walking up the street. One of them was with their parent. Parent had their back turned and was getting ready to walk away with the kid. You know what I mean? Now, this was some time ago, and I was always telling my daughter, listen, you need to just be mindful of what's going on. When we was at the fair, I did that. And she was just walking. So if somebody touched her head and moved her a certain way, she ended up walking in that direction. So I did that. I was like, just went on ahead, and I was like, well, no, you just started walking, and I walked your way, and you didn't even know. I was like, look around. It's just you and me. Now, what if somebody touched the top of your head and you didn't know? So ever since then, my baby, anybody touch her, she looking right up before anything happened. You know what I mean? So, and y'all have any experiences? What do y'all do for y'all kids? You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, as far as I know, David, you got older kids, but you got grandkids now.
On the way, yes.
So what are your expectations? What are you planning on teaching them?
Well, not just my grandchildren, but all women and children. I talked to my martial arts teacher, and he has agreed to give an hour of free training to women and children. I had a class, and I mean, years back when I did this, I think it was 2017, we had some people come out, but this time I did it, nobody came. So I said, let me interview you, given some of the drills. As I was doing that, I asked him, why is it you think this place isn't filled with people? Because we just did a show, and everybody was upset in the press that people were going missing and stuff. And he said it's because it has never happened to them. If it hasn't happened to them or someone that they know, then they don't prepare for it.
Right.
He said, so
that's absolutely
my thing I was trying to get out of him is, how do we get into the mindset of people to say it doesn't hurt to know how to do something? I personally train because you never know when a person's going to try you. I mean, someone my size, more than likely somebody 2-3 times my size is going to try me. So I purposely have him train me how to deal with an individual 3-4 times my size. That's like preventive maintenance in the military.
Right.
We were taught grab, twist, grab. Automatically we're going for that scrotum. It ain't about pride. It's about snatching that from you. So we need to teach our women and children that as well. So.
And it's all in reference to like soft body parts when it comes to the military. If it's a woman and you're going up against a man, somebody going behind you, soft tissue such as the testicles, the eyes, the throat, all of these places are considered to be sensitive places, and you will go after these places to, to get them people off of you. Also, women, your strongest body part really is your legs. Yes. So the quicker you can get down to the ground and get the kick in, or you whatever you got to do, that's what you will want to do to keep them off of you. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's all about protecting yourself. But I do agree, there is some situation with our people not taking advantage of free training to be able to prepare and better yourself just in case something happens. I mean, you're quick to get in car insurance just in case you get into an accident. The bank make you get homeowners insurance just in case you tear up your house. Why don't you get self-insurance and learn something, so that way if something like this was to happen, you'll be better prepared to protect yourself. You know what I mean? Right. And that's something that needs to be done.
And also, fighting is a science. Most people say, well, I know how to fight. I'm from the streets and this and that and the other. As I start learning different styles, especially with boxing, I had to learn the basics of boxing, because just running in, a boxer going to step back and he going to pick you off.
Right.
Not only that, he's breathing while he's throwing his punches so that he doesn't get fatigued and tired. The regular person that has no training, you're going to hold your breath while you punching and swinging, and then therefore you're making yourself tired. Absolutely. So you get into this stuff to learn the science of it and the basics of it, and then you improve on it. Bruce Lee, a lot of us thought that was fake. Wing Chun, Chinese boxing, all that stuff. Turns out it's true. There's a wooden doll thing that they practice on. So your defense can get so immaculate to where your energy force feels what's coming to you, and your body automatically respond. The more you do it, your muscles have memory. I remember when I was in the Marines and we were hanging out in LA, and another Marine ran up on me in the dark, and without even thinking about it, I did the line training stuff that they had taught us on him. And he was like, "Man, why did you do that?" "Because you ran up on me. I didn't know who you was." I just my body naturally responded. So you can condition your body, and something is always better than nothing. Right. If they do snatch you or whatever, now you got to fight for your life. At least you got some strategies. You ain't just yelling and panicking. The main thing is don't panic.
Absolutely.
You're light years ahead if you don't panic. Right. So if you can get you 3-4 drills or techniques, survival techniques, I say get it. I mean, even if you just go on YouTube and learn some self-defense, whatever you got to do, but get something.
You have to do something. And in law enforcement, we always teach that when you're in a situation, you revert back to your lowest level of training. Naturally, that's what we do. For some people, it's street fighting, and sometimes that works. However, you can't revert to your lowest level of training if you don't have any training. So along with what you're saying, David, we have to get some sort of self-defense, some sort of training in order for us to be able to have something to revert back to.
Okay. Yeah. So at the end of the day, listen, you all know that there's some things that need to be done. Y'all know that the media is not going to do it. You just saw the guy who was talking about the CIA. And the CIA's job is not to make things better, it's to get things done. So if a guy asks you, if a guy that you are interrogating in the CIA states that, okay, I'm willing to help you, but I'm not going to help you unless you get me a prostitute. And at the end of the day, you can be like, okay, well, prostitutes, they, you know what I'm saying, that if they going to get paid to do it, why not? You know what I'm saying? But if they ask for a child prostitute, what are you going to do then? Most people are going to be like, well, no, we're not going to do that. But he has information that you need that's for government purposes. You know what I mean? So you're going to get that person the thing so that way he'll be able to help you out. You know what I mean? So you got CIA agents who are offering, or who's getting the person that they're dealing with, child prostitutes who are underage, getting it for them. So the government is getting other individuals child prostitutes. And look at the dude, the Epstein dude. This dude made millions of dollars, had an island full of kids, I guess. Child prostitution, and it's a big thing now. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the reason why I think they got him is because he had some names and some large people that was part of the group that he could have blew the whistle on that nobody wanted to know about. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, if you out there in them streets, you can get snatched up like Instagram models now. What's that dude name?
Jesse Smollett.
No, no, not Jesse. No, what's the dude name? They wrote a song about him, and he be getting the girls from Instagram like, yo, you want to come on a trip with us? And you know they going on from Instagram. You know he going over there and banging a bag out. You know what I mean? He not just about to just take a trip to Fiji and not be having sex with the dude who's taking you over there. You know what I mean? So, I mean, but some of it, I guess, it's warranted because they want to do it. But what about those who don't want to do it?
V brought up a good point. She says that the problem is that they're drugging the women right away, and you can't defend yourself because you wake up later already raped, which is a very good point because now they're having you to inhale some crap that'll cause you to, go unconscious. And all that we can do to combat that I would think of is to be mindful of our surroundings. A lot of these times they're probably doing this to women who are, because you got so many people walking, looking down at their phones and just not paying attention to their surroundings. That phone. People are distracted, man. And if I walk around as a law enforcement officer so much and see so many people that are oblivious, and if you can walk up on them if you wanted to and legit take something right out their hand, their pocket, their purse, and they wouldn't even notice because they're not paying attention. We are distracted, y'all.
They got the paper they put on the windshield now. They have some substance on it. Yeah. Now they have keychains with tracking devices in them, so they can follow you home later.
Yeah, and they got this thing now that's on your phones where you can put it on your phone and track whoever's in your family or whatever, just to make sure they are where they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? So I have it for me and my daughter. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for somebody else to get it on theirs. But you know what I'm saying? Somebody think it's weird. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I always want my family to know where I am, because they're not snatching up men yet. You know what I mean? There is a gay ring of dudes that was raping men sometime in the, you know what I'm
It's
saying?
happening to young boys though.
The
I mean,
fuck?
it's happening to young boys though.
Yeah, it was a dude. They said it was a gay gang that was raping men back in the day. You know what
bro.
No, why not?
These gotta be ex-felons that's just like, you know, cock diesel.
Yeah,
You can't
but
just
if
find
you-
a little skinny dude like this tall with his shoulders and he walking like this because he think he a woman.
Ain't nobody gonna
kidnapping
report
nobody.
it.
Yeah, prepare your ass.
Literally, prepare.
Man, I'm moving on to a farm.
They got ass cups.
Ain't no.
No, they got them things.
You
that
calling
in
the
Vietnam
police?
Where they got the little razor blades inside the little tube you put. The ladies will put in their vagina. Dudes, y'all better start putting that in your butts.
So they got something that you can put in your butt to cut.
Yeah, to cut that
Comedians.
that D. No, seriously, yo.
Comedians.
Old female prostitutes back in Vietnam used to have these little things. Did they call it Venus flytraps or something like that? But anyway, you put it in your vagina. It's got razor blades and
Guillotine.
barbs and stuff. You stick your manhood in there, it don't come back out.
Well, I'm gonna say
Guillotine.
I'm gonna say.
Well, David, you would know, right? Because
About
you,
what?
Yeah, you was over there.
Right, you was over there. You said you had.
I don't know nothing about no butt
No.
guillotine things y'all
Asia.
talking about, bro.
No, but you said like when you was. I guess no, you was in Japan, not in Vietnam. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I take that back then. David don't know.
But I was gonna say, men don't underestimate what type of man can take you, because it could be a slim dude if he knows how to hit you, how to chin check you,
He gonna
and
have to
make
work
your
for this.
head rock back to your neck. When your neck joke like that, he can knock you unconscious. If they know pressure points,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
it's people that they train.
Exactly.
The right person that know where to hit you in the right place. And I wouldn't just
Them-
everybody's a suspect. In other words, like Keita said, survey the area. We're taught to walk in the room and look around and look at people and check people and stare them down. Like when Keita said she stared that person down by the bathroom, I had to do a guy like that when my people were out shopping. Because he was watching all them and I was watching him. And then when he made eye contact with me, I locked with him and then moved my eyes.
Yeah, because they don't try to punk you. What is it? Keita was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "The dude was looking at me." It's just as simple as that. But you got people that got ill intent. You know what I'm saying? And the ones who got ill intent are the ones who typically would go their way, especially if you take notice. They want to be unknown. But the guy who was following y'all was just he just made it so aware. I probably would have popped shit out of him off GP. You know what I mean? But
And Nana looked at me and said, "Where?" I'm like, this dude been following us for 20 minutes and y'all didn't know. Nobody saw him. Every hour we go down, every time we stop, he stopped. Nobody saw him. I'm like, y'all got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed him.
Well, that's a good thing that you was with them. But I mean, that's for you being Nana's parent. It's something that you can teach and bring awareness to all ladies, especially our daughter, because she's becoming more like you anyway. You know what I mean? As far as being aware and being conscious of what's going on around her. But she's still a teenager, and at the times, people can slip up, and that one little slip up, you saw the video.
Right.
The kid going, certain people ain't even really doing nothing, and trouble just come to them. You know what I mean? And I just want her to be more aware, and that's for anybody who got girls. You know what I mean? I mean boys too, especially because they taking boys. But
y'all see these kids walk around with these headphones in their ears.
Oh, that's a
24/7.
no-no.
I have to tell Nana, take that crap out your ears. How are you going to hear if somebody come up on you? Like
They don't care.
I
It's about
just
that.
don't understand.
It's about that entertainment right here that makes them feel good on the inside. So you tune the world off. I'm at my spot. I'm happy. Bump the rest of y'all.
Well, my partner, he used to have his earphones in the fanny pack, but he never had them plugged up with a 357. Walking to the bus stop. Walking to the bus stop at night and all like that.
Yeah.
So I tell my daughter as soon as because she's already weapons capable already. You know what I mean? But she just got to get legal. You know what I mean? So that's my whole thing. I am for guns. Because at the end of the day, I saw a video where a guy pulled up on this little white lady. Why I have to put white? But she was like tall. You would have thought she was like a model or something from what I can see. The guy pulls up, drives to the right, stops, jumps out of the car, and tries to snatch her. Woman had a gun, and you said one shot, center mass, pow, dude went down, and you saw that, and I was like, yo, at the end of the day, that's what needs to happen. You know what I mean? Women need to be able to protect themselves at all costs, but they have to also have like a psychological thing going on too, because you got certain women that they just shouldn't have guns. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's certain other things that you can do to prepare yourself, like get yourself some pepper spray. You know what I mean? Always have your pepper
First
spray
and
ready.
foremost.
You know what I
Taser.
mean? That's right.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Let me see that again, Lee.
Yeah.
Yep. Have yourself some pepper spray.
That's the first thing I bought her when I moved her down here.
You know what I mean? So if you got some pepper spray and you're able to get to it, and they come running at you, sometimes that'll stop them. You know, most of the people will. But Keita, you know some people that's in that jail that they just eat that up. Like,
oh yeah, I mean it doesn't work for everyone. Like people eat that crap with their food, and it doesn't affect them. So have a backup for the backup.
I saw a dude beat
I
up
got
by 10
pepper
officers.
spray too.
Yeah.
Cause I wanna spray somebody's eyes and beat the brakes off of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to promote killing, but
No,
that's
taser.
why I don't watch TV. But I was watching Us.
Oh.
And that was my first time watching Us. And I was upset because, to me, that family wasn't killing them other people quick enough. You know, when somebody threatens your life, you have the right to meet them with the same opposing force that they meet you with. So practice snapping necks. You know.
Turkey necks or chicken necks?
Real human necks.
Southerners know how to do that already.
Oh, man.
Human necks.
And Chip, what was you saying?
Finishing moves.
Oh my God.
This is Mortal Kombat.
Yo, and Chip, what was you saying?
I don't know.
Okay, well then, on that note, since Chip don't know what he was getting ready to say,
I know it was filmed, but they just weren't
He was
killing
saying that
people fast enough.
he saw somebody eat the pepper spray, like it didn't work. That's all he was saying.
Oh,
In jail, they had to chain it to their chair, but it took about 10 off.
Right.
Yeah, but see, that's that. I don't think people that eat pepper spray like that are like right mentally. You know what I mean?
There's
many
some
of them
people
out
that
there.
are
Nah, he
perfectly
was.
fine
He
mentally.
just
It just
he
doesn't
just-
affect them.
It's
Well,
a
you know-
mental thing that block it out.
Well, you know, like the God has said, if the women get drugged beforehand and all that stuff, but you know, you're gonna when you wake up and stuff, you still need to be able to save your life just in case they haven't killed you yet. They raped you, but they didn't kill you. And if you look back at the old martial art movies, they always showed you how people had to fight when they got drunk, or if they got blind, or if they got a broken arm. They had to adapt and learn how to fight with whatever you got left. You know, I mean, I imagine nobody's gonna give up and just want to die. You're gonna figure out a way to survive.
Right.
Y'all ever see a movie called Old Boy? It's about a guy that got kidnapped. And it was basically the person that kidnapped him was on revenge. So he kidnapped this dude for like 20 years.
Dang.
Yeah,
And
I
the,
did.
The guy taught himself martial arts while being kidnapped. They stuck him in a hotel room for 20 years. They fed him, clothed him, and everything, but never let him out. He learned to fight back. Eventually, he did get out and exact his revenge, but that's besides the point. Is he eventually did fight back.
And for anybody who is in the situation who happen to might see this or anything, there's always an opportunity to get out. At the end of the day, I tell my daughter, I was like, listen, at the end of the day, if something was to happen and this occurs, you know what I mean? I don't want to put it out there, but this occurs. There's always a situational position, or you always fight. Don't ever get scared, because that's what
they feed off.
Right. And there was a young woman who says that she was sex trafficked by a guy. She was 16. But you have some of these girls who think they know everything, or some of these kids, they think they know everything, and they end up running away from home thinking that life is grand on the other side, and then they end up getting snatched up. Well, she ran away from home thinking that she knew everything. Then a guy got her, 16 years old, and kept her in a hotel room, stayed by her side the whole time, raped her over and over again. And then she was like, yo, eventually you get that, what is it, Stockholm syndrome?
Yep.
Where you're like, okay, well, it's not as bad as it seems. I'm just trying to cope with the situation. And she actually said out of her mouth, there was some good times when I was with him. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, it was good times? You was just sex trafficking, you was raped over and over again, and then it became okay for you because this is the life that you were living. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, remember, and he always kept a gun with him, she said. Always kept a gun. At the end of the day, he kept a gun. So even if the person has a gun, always remember that gun can't be used both ways. You know what I'm saying? If you get access to it, you need to get yourself out of the situation that you in at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Like Centoya Brown.
Right.
I mean, she eventually did have to kill that man in self-defense.
Right.
Yeah, she had to do some time, and that was unjust, but she eventually fought back.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever give up hope. Just do it a lot sooner than she did.
Right.
I don't say that in jest. I'm saying it in a joking voice, but her situation was serious, and I don't want anyone to think that I don't take it seriously.
Right.
Fight back as soon as possible. Never stop. Start from the beginning.
Right.
Right. And always remember, there's now these with people coming up missing, they have different tactics. Yeah, they're using Uber or Lyft, but you have to be aware that when people are looking for you, they have descriptions of vehicles and cars. And I saw the movie with Halle Berry where they took her son, changed cars when the Amber Alert went out. So you can't really, you know what I'm saying, you want to get help from the police, but sometimes they have to use things and go through a process before they even put it out there. By the time they put it out there, the whole scenario and the situation has changed. They're not in that vehicle no more. Also, when looking for kids, they're making them wear the Punjabi stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you be thinking they're Muslims, and they walking these girls in here dressed from head to toe. You can't see them. You don't know nothing about them. And a lot of these girls be like, well, it's my religion. I can't take it off. But some of them don't even want to wear them because that's how they're hiding them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's different tactics that they're using. Of course, they're drugging them, covering them up. Once they on the drugs and the dope, I mean, they so high. You know what I mean?
It's just like taking.
Yeah, I posted that.
As long as you are aware, be mindful that if you can help it, don't let anybody get you to a second location. Once they get you from the place that they meet you at, I mean, it's harder to get away, and it's harder to escape and defend yourself from there. But I mean, just ladies, be aware. And I'm gonna be the example. I'm gonna get with David and see what day his sensei does the self-defense class, and I'm gonna go ahead and sign up and try to get a group to go with me.
Awesome.
As soon as possible. I'll say that on the show. I'll lead by example, and I'll go ahead and do that. And even, you know, as a corrections officer, I know some self-defense things as well that maybe I can, you know, bring to light as well. But I'm gonna sign up and try to get a group of ladies with me. Me and my daughter, we're gonna go.
Awesome. He's the next class, which I have filming, and you're welcome to go. I won't be there. He's actually bringing the Wing Chun dummy that he built for us at his house, and I've been waiting and begging for this thing for so long, and he's finally completed it, and he's supposed to bring it this Saturday.
So it's this Saturday.
Yeah, I almost want to skip my thing, but I can't. So
what time is it? I'm gonna be in a fashion show.
10 a.m. 10 to
that's
12.
good. Okay.
Yeah, every 10 to 12 on Saturdays, and Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. But Monday is more endurance, like we hit the heavy bag, you know, strengthening up all these muscles around the wrist and the forearm to get you used to hitting something heavy. So,
and
here's a good workout.
And I want to say this before we move forward with anything. This particular topic here is really not a funny kind of, you know, kiki and laugh type topic, because the media is not putting it out there like that. You're seeing a lot of it on social media, but have you watched TV, any news thing, and they mention anything about human trafficking? The last thing I heard was Ashton Kutcher went up to the Senate or whoever it was and was trying to push for human trafficking. But now that you know that the CIA has to use it to get information, the government and high officials are having sex with these kids. What makes you think that your government is going to do anything about it? You know
the government having sex with the children?
The people in high governmental places. Look at who do you think Epstein was taking pictures with? And do you think he was just taking pictures just to be kikiing and laughing with them? No, he was getting information, and he was giving them what they wanted. He had pictures with Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, all of these big upper people, and he ended up getting killed because of all of the information. And how do you kill a man that's already in jail? You know what I'm saying? He's already arrested.
Oh, that's easy.
How you do it?
Huh? They got the power to do it.
Right. So at the end of the day, we trying to put information out there. So if y'all seeing this, please like, comment, and share. You can always follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We also have a Twitter. Also, you can find us and follow us and listen to them on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. So please share this. This is one that I would suggest will be more informational and get this out to people who really need it. Our girls, our babies are being snatched up at an alarming rate, and no one is saying anything about it. And the only people that are saying stuff about it is going to be myself and anybody who has a platform to be able to put the information out there. Look at it like this. You have slavery in Liberia right now. Organ harvesting for kids
all of Africa
right now.
Not just Liberia,
Yeah.
all of
all
Africa.
of it.
Yeah, man.
So
the northern side, Saharan desert, all those countries are trafficking people or enslaving them to get them to come to Europe, either bribing the families, literally kidnapping your family. Hey, you 15,000, I get you over to Italy. They're putting 300 people on a boat that can only fit 50. Wow. Oops, we got the money. They died on the way. Oops. But they're also enslaving the people on the coast before they can leave the country. The media doesn't talk that up. They mention it once as a bullet, and if you happen to catch it, okay, you hear it. Right. But what's going on in Northern Africa with slavery, Africans on African slavery, it's almost like back in 1600. Except the tribes aren't fighting; it's people extorting others.
That's the only way they know how to make
money
that
and
money.
flesh. It's just money and flesh. That's what it is, and it's sad.
Pauline Roll said January is Human Trafficking Month. See something, say something. The Human Trafficking Coalition in Jacksonville is very active with educating the community.
Yeah, we're one of the cities they bring people to.
Please, Pauline, can you forward us the information? Because I would like to get in contact. I felt like there was a need. I was having a conversation with my daughter, and I was like, I think we should do something specifically for human trafficking, a page for human trafficking, something where we can keep pushing out information, keep telling people about the different tactics and things that's going on, and bring awareness to a situation that our media is not bringing towards us. All you see is a lot of violence and stuff like that, but you never see anything that is going to help stop things from occurring or preventing them from happening. So I would like to get that information about the Human Trafficking Coalition when you have time.
Yeah. And she also said she learned from one of their presentations that the Florida-Georgia game is one of the largest events in the area for human trafficking.
Oh, wow.
I just told y'all we was doing the largest in the country.
Yeah.
Because check this
Look
out.
how many people come here for that?
Cocktail party, get people drunk.
I'm going to be real. I used to work, and I'll share this. I used to work security for Allied Barton, right? And I used to work downtown at the BB&T building. Used to hate the Florida and Georgia game because all of these kids from college are pissed drunk and out of their minds. And if we didn't close the gates, they come in pissing all on the cars and stuff like that. I can just imagine these were girls coming through out of their mind drunk. I know it's something. It's like a field day, a smorgasbord for a human trafficker. They're like, oh, she drunk already? I can just go ahead and just take her right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And y'all just making it easier for them. Man, it annoyed me to the point when a girl was getting into the Uber car and the guy was stalking her then. And I have a hatred for rapists or and all of that. I hate that. And it's a strong word to say hate, but I have a hatred for that. If you got to take it, there's a problem with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at the end of the day, if I hate something so much, I need to go at it full force. So I think I'm gonna create a page. What was that thing she said on her? Which one? How did she say it?
Jackson, the coalition.
She said January
is Human Trafficking Month.
Something.
Yeah, see something, say something. The Human Trafficking Coalition in Jacksonville.
She said she'll send you the contact information.
Okay, I kind of like that. See something, say something. I
But
wonder
that's
if
a lot. That's a whole won't nobody say nothing. We'll film something before we'll say something.
I say something.
Yeah, people want to stay hands off so they don't get caught up in it.
Yeah.
I'm safe over here. I'm safe.
And to they child.
Yeah. What happened to we're a tribe? We look out for one another. Everything is me centered now.
But
if it ain't affecting me, I ain't worried about it. It ain't never happened in my neighborhood. I ain't worried about it.
But see, that's everything changed. It used to be like a village used to raise a child.
Exactly.
This is what happens, and this is what changed when we used to have big mamas, and big mamas used to sit out on the porch and watch everything. You couldn't, you need to get your child.
Right.
That's when you had the great grandmothers be like, okay, well, no, you can't do that. Come here, you better go over and see Ada, or I'm gonna get you. You know what I mean? So you had people who was responsible for other people's kids. So it was real hard for them to come snatch up your child if somebody is always on the porch. But the young man said, crime came through and Big Mama stopped being on the porch because they didn't want to get killed. They didn't want to get shot. Then you got the teenagers growing up thinking that they know everything. You can't even say nothing to nobody now about their kids. Oh, you know your daughter was just out here in these streets fighting. My daughter wasn't doing nothing like that. Yeah, mind your business. Stay out of my business. But see, that's the problem. Back in the day.
That ain't the big problem. The big problem is they'll do it in front of you. In the child.
And then the laws are set up where you can't punish your child. So the child knows this. They exploit that, thinking that they grown-ups and they know everything, while you got this predator out here who obviously has government permission to be a predator now.
And that's
it's a setup for failure.
If parents are even home too nowadays. Look how many kids come home from school and the parents aren't home for hours because they're working or going to school and whatever else. A lot of times there's no supervision around, and that sucks.
Yeah, and my two
Crime of
sons,
opportunity.
of course, and I didn't have a daughter, but I do have a granddaughter now. But my two sons have a good amount of martial arts training, and you want to get a teacher that's going to really teach you how to break stuff. You know, break bones and really do damage. There is a difference. Some places they just go, you know, to get a belt and to be in a tournament and say I know karate, and but the guy that's teaching me, he's been doing it for almost 56, 57 years. Lots of credits, but I've seen families leave because what he's teaching is so harsh. They can't stand the breaking of bones and this and this. They only want to learn the soft stuff. But what he's teaching, shock, pop, and drop, that's a phrase he likes to say. And it's, you know.
But there's a difference between what's real and what's play. My daughter, she used to take up, Taekwondo. She used to take up Taekwondo, and she would learn how to break the boards and stuff like that, but it was all in motion. I was like, okay, well, how would you use this in actual practice? You know what I mean? And there were certain things that you could do as far as fighting back and everything like that. But the question is that now a lot of times when they snatch you up from behind, do you have the techniques? You know how to stand up and fight,
elbow to ribs.
But how do you, when somebody come up and snatch you from the waist or grab you around your neck? I
limp.
saw a video, and if I find that video, I'm gonna post it. A girl, she was on her phone walking into her apartment. The guy came up behind her and choked her. She didn't even know it. Choked. I'm talking about choked her out.
Right.
When he dropped her, she dropped limp, everything.
Yeah.
And he took her phone. He wanted her phone, but he had to choke her out the way he did it. But I
let
was
her
like
live.
giving it, but
He
giving
was
it.
trained.
Yeah, but giving it. No, he was just a basic chokehold.
Right.
He walked up behind her and just choked her out.
Right, but he could have killed her if he'd have held on a little longer.
Oh, yeah, but when he dropped her, man,
Yeah.
that was it, man, and it just. She was like a limp noodle, but she didn't know how to defend from that.
Well, I had to learn the hard way from my sensei choking me. And automatically, when I feel an arm coming around my neck, I'm dropping my chin, and I'll shoot this arm up in there. But my chin gonna drop right away.
That's
because
one thing we teach too.
When he choked me that time, my throat was sore for like 4-5 days. I had to still do comedy. And I was like, I'm never going to let somebody get their arm around my neck like that again, even in practice. Because really, they can kill you easy if the guy Bo up at Teapot is real big guy, look like a linebacker.
The ball dude.
That's why I was practicing my moves on, because I'm like, I need to know how to handle somebody like you. So, of course, once he put that arm around your neck and put that other arm behind your head, they're squeezing at the same time, pushing your head forward. They could kill you. You'll be killed right there. Don't even let nobody practice on you like that, really, because they can accidentally kill you if they don't let you get that oxygen.
Yeah,
you gone.
And we teach some things, and we can. I just thought about this. We can push training all day long, but we're humans, and we're gonna do one of three things: we're gonna fight, we're gonna freeze, or we're gonna flight, or we're gonna run, if we can. Those are the three things that we have to be mindful that come into play also, because we train people with 2 straight weeks of defensive tactics training. In their first, second, sometimes third incident in the jail that I work in, they freeze because they don't know what to do. Although we just taught you what to do. Right. You practice hundreds and hundreds of times within 2 weeks. I mean, our defensive tactics training wears you completely out. You're bruised up, you're hurt from practicing on each other. Right. So your mind knows what to do, but it doesn't mean your body's going to do it.
If you don't got no heart, you're not going to do it.
But I've seen people with plenty of heart still. I mean, later on down the line,
scared,
they end up, that fear will cause you to freeze where you are.
But you got to think about it too. It's kind of like a lifestyle. You have different individuals who come into being correction officers and police officers from different backgrounds. Yeah. And if you got somebody who is suburban, never really been through anything like that, when they come through, they either have to prove something or it's going to catch up with them. You know what I mean?
And it's in a controlled environment too. I get that. Like when you in jail, it's real life. It's real shit right here.
Yeah,
this your life.
You better know what you're doing in there.
You can know, but it don't mean you're going to do it.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But I mean, you look at it like from those who grew up in poverty or grew up in a situation where they didn't have and you had to fend for yourself growing up, being bullied and stuff like that. You kind of have a chip on your shoulder now, where it's like,
got multiple siblings.
Yeah, I'm not trying to have. I'm not trying to go through none of that.
I wasn't bullied, but
So I wasn't bullied.
Makita, could
Like
it
a
be
way of
life
life.
or death if they freeze?
It's
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
life or death. These people, these inmates are mentally ill, and even the regular ones, they're trying to kill you. They don't like you because you wear a badge. Like, it's life or death for real. It still don't mean you're going to do
I've
something
been in a
about
shootout
it.
like
It's
that.
unfortunately. It's unfortunate. I mean,
I
it
don't
still
wanna do
doesn't
that
mean you're
again.
going to act.
For real, I've been in
we
the
see it
shootout like that.
so many times.
Mm.
Like
and somebody
real
wind
life.
up having to come and save them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I've been in the shootout. My pilot talking about what he gonna do and all that. They go to shoot. I like throw me the.
Glad he didn't.
No, he did. I had lucky he did.
You
I
were
had to
busting
shoot-
in the name of Jesus.
Yeah,
Cool.
I had to shoot us out of that situation for real. When you hear bullets,
Yeah.
Yeah.
think there's a game if you want to, because all it takes is one.
Yo, and I can tell we was kind of how we grew up. We had, what is it? We just got out the military. I just got out the military. We was at Regency Square Mall, and I could just tell based off of me and Keita's background, it's just that we just seen enough of stuff where stuff just doesn't bother us. Nana was just born. Now, something happened at the mall where the police end up snatching this boy up, and he was getting ready to get. I don't know if it was J.C. Penney's, but we was
That's
we
usually
were
where it
just
went
sitting.
down.
We were just sitting at the Regency in those little seats, just chilling, right? And we just sitting up there watching. Everybody
food
else
court.
is moving. Me and Keita just still sitting up there, just like. This is like this is nothing new. We ain't seen this already before. I was like, yo, so your lifestyle, I feel, can make some changes, especially if you grew up in a lifestyle where your background just wasn't straight kosher, where you just had to go through some things, or you was poverty stricken, or you just had to fight constantly. When it's time for you to actually do the flight, your mind is already conditioned to fight before you run. You know what I mean? A lot of times when you haven't done nothing like that, you just quick to be like, oh, I need to get up out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's
David,
it.
may I have Mr. You said to contact Mr. Marshall Sr., Alan Marshall Sr.?
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the number on the flyer.
Okay, I'm reposting his information. I just want to put the number, and I put the times and location for the self-defense class.
Right. And please like, comment, and share the video. This is informational for anybody who's here in Jacksonville, anybody who needs, young ladies and women and children. You get free defensive training here in Jacksonville, and it's free. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be going to something to help benefit you and benefit your child. You saw where guys were snatching kids right out of the parents' hands. I saw a video where a guy was sitting in the convenience store. The girl was 12, snatched the girl up. The mama trying to hold the door on, and he about to snatch her straight out of the daggone convenience store. So they getting bold, man. So you got to be prepared and be ready. You got to come. You got to meet what David said. You got to meet violence with violence sometimes.
Because that's the only thing that helps it.
Right. A lot of times, a lot of people, like back at home, they'll be like, yo, you can't be breaking in people's houses back home because they'll pop you. But you got places in certain states where you can't even carry a gun. So you look at how the home invasions are a little higher.
That's why it's important to know other things other than using the gun. Like David's saying, know how to use your body and use your hands.
Right.
Because when it all boils down to it, like, we don't have guns in the jail. If by chance the taser doesn't work, if the pepper spray doesn't work, you got to be ready to throw your hands.
Right.
And we teach pressure points, and we teach soft tissue, soft places to hit to mobilize people. So I mean, it's good to know how to work with what God has given you, because weapons fail all the time.
Right.
But guess what? You control these hands,
and somebody can always get them. Pop them up. So, as a closing remark, I just want to say this. You got to watch your children and be mindful of yourself. No one is going to protect you but you, okay? You can call the police, but you know the police always come afterwards. If the situation is happening right then and there, you need to be prepared to do something right then and there. There is no cut cards about this. This can be life and death for you. A lot of these women who have videos out now, they made a decision to get up out of there. But you have other ones that are in the situation right now as we speak, getting screwed by a nigga that they don't know, and they out there getting blowed out. And I'm being dead serious. Sometimes you just need to have it up front in your face. You need to sit up there and do something. And if you sitting back and you watching this and you have done something, thank you, share it. So somebody who ain't doing nothing, thinking that it ain't happening to them, or they want to turn the other cheek because they don't think it's happening to them, if it does happen, then you're going to want somebody to have your back. So my job today right now is that I'm putting together an awareness page And I like see something, say something. It's either that or I'm gonna call it not for sale. And I'm gonna be pushing out information about human trafficking and stuff about anything that can bring awareness to the situation, because our media here in the city ain't doing it. So we need to do it for ourselves. And if you think about it, we are, as a people, the lowest form on the totem pole. So we're the ones who's probably being manipulated and getting snatched up the most. And the news just not putting it out there. They have over 350,000 cases of missing black women in the United States of America. Where do you think they're going? You got people that are trafficking organs and they are eating people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People eating people.
And those pills, melatonin, that they use to sleep and all that stuff.
So
I tried that mess.
Did it work?
Yeah, no. I tried it only because people, now it'll put you to sleep. It's all natural and all this here. Man, please.
Yo,
and even for Christians too. Like, I'm halfway baptized today, so even Christians, y'all can go and let somebody know. Look, you love Jesus, but you'll whoop that ass.
Amen.
Too.
Right. Amen.
You love the Lord, but you will whoop that ass. Okay.
Yeah, and just because you
Jesus won't.
But I'm being dead serious.
Right,
out of everything that goes on, our biggest money makers are the church. So you would think that this being such a large issue that's happening right now, it's becoming an epidemic.
They doing it.
That they have to also be a part of bringing awareness to human trafficking. Have human trafficking courses at your church. Do something free for the people that's in your area to bring awareness. You know what I mean? Create pamphlets, have a walking session or whatever to bring awareness to human trafficking. You ain't got to be like the Jehovah's Witness trying to get people saved. No, getting people saved is getting them unsnatched. Hello, is that a word?
Yeah, I think
now look at me. I'm not Merriam-Webster.
Yeah, but you gave me a word today. It was what was it? Deliberated?
Line of delineation.
Delineation, yo. You gave me that word today, yo. So
I dropped moving on.
Moving on. We're gonna get on to the next subject, delineation. Right now. For all y'all that don't know, since we started the show, we've had a segment. And this segment has just keep popping on in when it feels like it. And when y'all know it, it is what it is. This is Keita's segment, Just Asking, where she pops right on in. Pop that.
Joel
sit that,
Osteen,
sit that,
118 million.
118 million. Wow.
Dang, 118 million.
Joel Osteen.
Hey, man,
everything is right.
Go ahead, David. No wonder he be smiling.
Go ahead. What's that thing you do about Joel?
No wonder he be smiling.
Put the chains on the door. My head hurt a little bit.
Yeah, mine hurt a little bit too, so don't scream
got
too
a little
hard.
headache. I can't.
All right, Keita, go ahead.
Well, this is the segment of the day, the random segment, where I just pop up and ask a random question that the guys and ladies did not know ahead of time. So today's question is, what is a material thing that you have that you would find it hard to part ways with? Like me, my car. Listen.
Seen the photos.
Listen. They were hot, weren't they?
Yeah.
Listen, it would be very hard for me to part ways with my car. Although it's just the material thing, like it's my car, okay?
What number of car is this?
As far as chargers are concerned, this is my third one in 2 years. For 3 years.
Yeah.
The first one,
you need a wall charger.
The first one, Leroy killed it. He murdered it. He drowned it. Right? He drove it through standing
I did all
water.
of that.
He took my baby away from me, and then he made it up with a nice, pretty one, and then I just, upgraded. So I'm on my third charger.
Abortion
he bought
charger.
it up.
So
you had abortion charger.
But she didn't explain to you. See that she could have just kept the second one, but see her second one didn't make sounds like the other car club, right? She can be
Hemis
upstairs.
are the best.
You know how much gas them things burn.
It's fine if you can't afford the gas and you don't
that's
need
why
the
they
car.
call it Hemi. You hear me?
Amen.
Right.
You hear me?
So it's fine.
You hear me?
When things make your vagina wet.
Hey, whoa.
Hey.
Leroy Charger.
Buy a motorcycle for that.
Leroy Charger.
I don't appreciate that, dude.
You did it. I mean, hey, you
don't appreciate women.
So in
I
essence,
appreciate
you
your
did it.
vehicle.
I'm on the vehicle doing it, but
right. Yeah, I walk in.
You
I
bought
can
it?
make,
You ain't got no.
I can make the same sound. I don't get that same response.
No, it
Is it wet?
don't. Nope.
Sound like roast beef.
It don't sound like that.
You sound like roast beef.
Just slid that in there real smooth.
It sound like roast beef.
It don't sound like that. Good talk.
Blah, 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 blah.
Let's start with Chip on Chip's end.
Who, me?
Yeah.
It don't matter to me because I ain't materialistic. I mean, it is what it is now.
There is nothing materialistic that you have that you would find it hard to part ways with.
No.
I mean, it ain't the end of the world, but my car is my car. Good
No.
talk.
So I hope there's nothing, absolutely
That you
nothing.
really like.
No, because after I lost my mama and grandma, like, I really, that was it.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Ed?
Nope. Ain't never had shit. So to lose something, it don't matter. Everything I have is insured and can be replaced.
Right. And mine can too. I get it.
Okay.
But initially, I would find it hard.
I grew up without shit.
I'm sure I grew up with less.
Yeah,
I had to make my own pinball machine.
I'm sure all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't none of us come from no lot of money, so.
What about you, David?
Well, I used to didn't like to lose anything. Like anything that I worked for and got, I don't like to be taken or given away.
Thanksgiving to you too, Curtis.
And if you notice, I have a lot of clutter, a lot of stuff everywhere. I've just started to reevaluate my life and let things go and give stuff away. And I'm finding out the more you give away, the more you open up room for new stuff to come in.
Come on.
New abundance.
I'm gonna need that
Come
bowling ball
on.
for you this year though.
Well,
Reverend
I'm gonna be
Pioneer?
giving to my children. In fact, my oldest son, I just gave him my Prius, and I had planned on keeping my
Did you
Prius.
really?
Really?
Yeah. I had.
So what you got? You driving the other one?
Yeah, I'm just driving a Corolla for right now. I mean, my wife has a vehicle she's been wanting, and
What vehicle is that?
4Runner, or she want a Porsche
Not bad.
SUV possibly.
Yeah.
But
I
I'll
got
probably
good
just
taste.
let her do 4Runner because we don't need to live the Porsche life just yet.
I'm living the
Talk
Porsche
about let her do
life.
the forward.
Yeah, if you got it, ball out.
I ain't going back and forth.
Toyota
with you
4Runner.
vehicles.
Yeah.
Well, that's so cool.
So, I kind of just wanted him to experience. I feel like he's matured enough. I didn't want to give it to him while he was young.
There you go.
But I think he got enough discipline now to say, hey, well, I got a car with no car payment. I only got to do insurance. And then, it's a different scenario when you have grandchildren because now you got to make sure, it's not my legacy goes further than just my children. So as a grandfather, you have the ability to build and create and make it easier for the other generation. It doesn't matter what they do with it.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
I agree with that. I did the
Good
same
talk.
thing. For Nana, I gave her a car, my old car. So, and she happy with that. You know what I mean? I ain't never
Do
had
it
a
move?
car.
Do she drive?
Yeah, she drove it to work
She
today.
just drove it again today.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
It's in the same
So,
spot it was last week.
It's going to be in the same
And
spot.
the week before. And the week
Because that's
before.
where she park it at.
Right.
I can't park.
Oh, that you upset because you can't
but
park.
I didn't want to give
You
my
can park in the
boys
driveway, sir.
those vehicles because simply my first car was $350 that I paid for, and it didn't hardly run. I had a push button start way back in the 80s because the key ignition didn't work, so it was wired to a button. And I didn't want to give them something right off because I never had nothing right off, so I kind of made them wait. And this Corolla should be going to Dante, but he's only 18, get ready to be 19, and I kind of wanted some time to get in there before he get that one, because they shouldn't just. I don't think they should just hop into something of that value, because then they begin to think life comes that easy.
Right.
That's how they be with them iPhones.
Yeah.
All this electronic stuff. Jump right into it. Be like,
Yeah.
No. What about you, Laura?
My most prized possession for me is my photo albums from my childhood up to my kids and my granddaughter. So when we went back home, I had to make sure I got one box.
Oh, that's
Okay.
cool.
That's awesome.
That's
man.
lovely. Yeah.
Our stuff got sold in storage when we.
That's two of
Mine
us.
too. Three
That's
of us.
three of us.
Because that used to be my prize thing
Ain't
too.
had
But we
shit.
were
Ain't got shit.
we were homeless for a little bit,
Yeah.
evicted. So
Yeah, we was.
all of our family stuff is gone.
my stores got evicted.
Yeah, we got evicted and our storage got evicted.
Oh,
so
man, you just ain't going. The girl got mad.
Yeah,
my first car,
family,
a girl gave
they were
me.
financially challenged, saying they was gonna take care of my
first
stuff.
car, a girl gave to me.
Yeah.
A girl gave you a first car to you?
Yeah.
Was it a toy car?
No, it was a Grand Prix.
You was knocking that down, weren't you?
Yes. That's why I think I got married for the wrong reason.
Okay.
I definitely got married for the wrong reason.
Because she gave you a car?
It wasn't that, like, by us being so poor, like, she started buying me stuff.
Oh.
And it made it like, oh, shoot, she's down. Back then, like,
Gotcha.
Gave me that car? Oh, shoot, this down.
Right.
That was wrong.
Oops.
Yeah. And pictures are so valuable that Lauren brings up picture.
Yes.
My wife and I, we don't know where the title is to the car, so we've been going through all the mail and all that trying to find the title. And we ran by a picture where my two sons, they had to be around 7 or 8, and my nephew and another friend of my son, they were all in the picture. And my wife was like, I don't know who that is. And I named, everybody in the picture. And she was like, oh, how you remember all that? I said, because I remember who's around my children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just let anybody be around my children. Like, I got to know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like American Son.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
How about you, Lee? Did you answer?
Huh? Yep.
No, you didn't.
No, you
No,
didn't.
you
You
did.
skipped right past to David.
He's seconding your pictures.
Yeah,
No,
no.
I was trying to
Yeah,
help you,
you
bro.
was trying to
help,
help,
bro.
yeah.
I was trying to
So,
help.
listen.
He didn't.
Rewind the tape.
When you speak of material, you're talking about stuff that's like
replaceable,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm not saying you can't replace it, but something that'll hurt you a little bit if you didn't have it.
If I didn't
You know
have
what I
it,
mean? Yeah.
Hair on your head.
You're an ass.
Like he let that go.
No. Listen, it used to be like it would have been like a gaming console, something like that. It would have been.
I should have guessed that.
But listen, since I have the money, if something was to go out, I don't get upset about it anymore. I can just replace it.
Well, we know it's replaceable, but it would bug you if something, one of your systems was out.
No, but what's bugging me right now,
Mm-hmm.
what's bugging me right now is that,
Take your time. Let him
thank
use
you,
you.
Jesus.
Let
Oh
him
my
use
gosh.
you.
Driving in a Honda.
Cord.
We ain't got all
Listen,
night.
I know we don't, but listen.
Yeah.
what's bugging me is that this phone, right? For whatever reason, even when I clear out as much space, it's still acting stupid. You know what I mean? And I do a lot of stuff like the thumbnails and stuff. I do a lot of work on my phone for this show. You know what I mean? I post.
Don't we know?
I don't need for you to ad lib the extra. So so at the end of the day, I think
God is gonna get
if
you
I was to
new
lose my phone.
What kind of phone it is?
This one here is a Motorola. So it don't do it's just I can do
beeper
so
phone.
much on the phone. I got so many apps that I need to do stuff on the phone when I make the thumbnails.
Well, you got two. You
erase
can't
them.
use your other phone.
This one here is dying out.
You got two phones.
This one here is dying out. This one here don't barely cut on.
That's a Samsung.
Yeah, it's a Samsung. It's an old one though, and the mixing board
Well, I mean, it's paid off, but
And
you
the
can upgrade
laptop.
your phone now. Look at here.
and the camera.
Let me see. Can I find
good?
a
Huh?
phone
The
trafficker?
mixing board. That's a big mixing board, man. That's a lot of board to be using.
So it's your phone. You trying to say you need new phones?
No, I'm just saying if I was to
I found a
lose
phone
it,
trafficker.
if I was to lose it, it will probably irritate me because I have a lot of stuff on there, like all of the background photos from all of the past shows that I need to upload
Porn.
to
You need a burner phone.
Porn.
Tablet.
maybe I got a tablet, but I don't know how to use it like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
learn it. You got a
Yeah, but
what do you have? One of these?
iPad,
Did she
yeah,
say
right. But I don't know how. I don't know. Like with the Samsung, I can download the app, but I know with Nana. Nana has an iPhone, and trying to get video and photos and
Google it.
stuff moved over to the. Anyway, thank
You
y'all
have
for tuning
resources,
in,
honey.
Keita.
Use them.
Huh?
Ain't nobody buying you no new stuff when you got this.
I told you what I had an issue with.
I know. I understand. I'm just trying to help you. I'm giving you a solution. Learn
yeah.
your device.
And on that note, you just been.
I've been binged.
Yeah, you've been binged.
Oh, I shall shut up now.
Yes, thus saith the Bing. Yo,
Really,
so
Ed, you're what?
so for anybody who don't know, that's the Bang. There we go, and
Well, we
she's
selling
been
eye tablets.
bung. Yo, who's selling eye tablets?
Bung.
He put that one in.
Yo,
Crazy.
so listen, for anybody, y'all got anything y'all want to plug before we go? Keita?
Hey, y'all can still get some shirts from me. And my book is still on Amazon. The Other Side of Addiction. Hit me up, cash at me at $ Lakita Gordon.
All right,
for your merchandise.
Keita Gordon. What about you, Laura? You got anything going on?
We got a couple of skits coming up.
Yay!
We just got to get the video of it.
Okay, that's what I'm talking
Let us
about.
know if
We
y'all
are
need us.
soliciting actors and actresses. If anybody on Signal 27 would like to participate in the future Denarium videos, please contact Mr. Denarium as soon as possible.
I'm with it.
All right, quack quack.
You know, I'm always.
Especially the one that ain't been in one yet, Mr. Emmanuel.
We got to see what the scripts say, man. That's all.
Oh, it's decent. I was
good stuff.
we was when the last skit we was swingers basically.
Went over there to get some pussy.
I know, right? I was damn near naked.
Yeah, I've done some stuff with Ed before the Signal 27 show, and he be having me want me to do weird, crazy stuff, man. I'd be like, come on, man.
It's fun.
So I gotta wait to see what he develops.
All right. What about you, Dave? What you got going on?
Soul Hood Prime movie will be in theaters February 2020. 20.
Los 2K. Shout out to Los 2K.
Black and Green film, working on that with Florida's own Barry McLeod. That's coming out soon. And several other film projects. And my shirts are available at Teapot's Naturals Cafe. You can stop in there. And if you're out of the state of Florida, you can order them online at Spreadshirt.com, Etsy, and BigCartel.com. On December 14th, Christmas comedy show. We have tickets to the show, or you can go to SLR Productions and purchase your tickets there. Other than that, I got to work through December, so I'm going to be out there delivering these trailers.
Uh-oh. All right. And listen, y'all can follow me at thelastleroy.com. You can always follow the Signal 27 show on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. You can watch us live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. If you want to get any information, you can always find us at you can send us an email at the Signal 27 or Signal 27 Radio Signal 27 Radio at gmail.com. I'm sorry. It's Signal 27 Radio at gmail.com if you want to send any comments and stuff and you want us to read anything on while we're on live, as long as it fits the topic and what we're talking about.
Too, y'all.
Yeah, we take topic ideas as well. Also, this Tuesday, I think is the 3rd of December, I'll be at the Comedy Zone. So if you got anybody who want to come to the Comedy Zone, get some laughs in the middle of the week, holler at me before for Christmas and stuff get here. On Friday, I'll be at doing Carissa's. I said the name right? It's Carissa.
This is Shrimp.
Jazz Poetry Cafe.
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the Jazz Poetry
Shrimp
Cafe for Carissa, doing some comedy there on Friday. At the end of the month, on December 27th, I will be hosting the Clean Cut Comedy Show there at Two Saints, filling in for Jen Weeks in December. And then January 14th, I'll be with the Blue Skies Foundation doing comedy with them. So y'all make sure that y'all get y'all tickets and tune in. We appreciate y'all. Ed, what you got going on?
Yo, the Denarium videos are ready. The scripts are written. I just need actors and actresses for them.
All right.
So we got two more coming.
In Jacksonville, though.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Chip, what you got going on?
Christmas at Hattie's house, December 14th. Me and fellow comedians David Emmanuel, Osric, and Hattie May. And then somebody else. That's it.
And you.
And that's it, and me. Y'all come support. Y'all come get them tickets.
Yeah, we would definitely be there.
It's going to be at the Salem Center. I don't know the address.
That's right over
there.
there.
Thinking about Bonneville Road.
In Bay Meadows, yep.
Yeah. And you can get my shirts, Halfway Baptized. Cash out me at Comedian Big Chip. The lovely shirt that Miss Keita has on. You know, you can be nice and be the look here.
Listen, man, you need to make a stop at the Target out the town center. There's some people out there that want your shirts, man. I had 3 people ask me for shirts when I went in there.
Halfway Baptized.
Halfway Baptized. And then I'll be at Two Saints December 27th alongside with the host, Big Leroy.
Yeah, I was waiting for somebody else to give me some, but he never gave me no information back. He said he had to leave at like 8:15. So I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I got to be to work at 9 o'clock. So I might have to leave before then.
Oh, yeah, but it's all good, though.
Yeah,
you know you'll
unfortunately,
be there in spirit.
The holidays.
Well, I guess I'm finished.
Yeah.
No, I'm just messing.
Yo,
that's it.
Yo. So listen, right? Once again, y'all, please tune into us, like, comment, and share the page. If y'all rock with us, be on the lookout for the Signal 27 apparel. It should be coming in about another 2 weeks. We got everything going on in the town tonight. Holla at your boy. Y'all have a good night.
Thank y'all.
Be careful about what them watch your kids and
Peace
stuff
out.
out there.
Hide your kids. Hide your.
Right.